Okay, so this is the full parts list for the kit that you'll be using to set up and test. I want to run through all of these. You'll have 12 sets of clamps. As you can see here, all have the soft pad parts already inserted and all have the handles in place as well. Please note that these clamps have been designed to be universal in the sense that the handle can be on the base of the clamp, like so, or it can be on the top of the clamp, like so. And once we come to the assembly, you'll see the reason for that. There are end caps for the green sides. There are mid connectors to go between the green sides. There are end corner parts which link the top corners of the kit, as you will see when we go through assembly. There's a new bowler and a ball. There are a total of 9 fielders. You'll note that there is a difference in the fielders only in the sense that some do not have a fixed fielder inserted and some do have a fixed fielder inserted. So when the blue section is inserted in the fielder, that becomes a fixed fielder as it can't be moved freely across the side. You'll see that in more detail. And we also have 3 long sections for one side of the table, 3 long sections for the other side of the table, and 2 short sections which will go at the top end of the table where the bowler bowls the ball from. Okay, we will go through setup in a second and I'll show you the best ways to do that. So this is the full setup, and I'm going to run through where all the pieces should be laid out in order to make setup a bit easier. At the end, you'll see that we've got one end section that will fit the profile. We have a clamp which will be used to secure this corner. You have then a midsection which has a midsection connector here, also a clamp. Clamps are always placed in any point where there is a connector. Another midsection connector here, associated clamp. In the corner, you'll have a corner part which goes over here in this corner, and you have 2 clamps which will secure the ends of each of the corresponding sections that engage with the corner. You then have an end piece here, an end cap, to make a nice end section there, and its associated clamp. And that is replicated over on the other side. Please also note that we have a fixed fielder at the top here, a fixed fielder at the top here. Again, note that fixed fielders have the blue sections inserted. That's the only difference with them. There's also a fixed fielder at the end of the table here and here. Over on the left hand side, you have 3 free fielders that can be seen there, there and there. And you also on this side have 2 free fielders which can be seen there and there. Bowlers at the top in that section, and the bat is just there ready to be used when needed. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the process and show you just some tips and tricks on how to easily set up this game. The way that we have tended to come to realize the easiest approach is that we start at this end of the table. We set up the corners first. We loosely set up the clamps, put them in place. Don't tighten them yet. We loosely tighten them, and then we'll do one side, again adding the clamps as we add in the connectors. Then we'll do the other side, adding in the clamps as we do the connectors. Then we tighten up all of the clamps so that they're hand tight, nice and rigid. Then we place the fielders in their corresponding spots, and you're ready to go. Okay, we'll do some detailed setup videos next. Okay, so the first step in setting up the kit is start with your corner portions. We take the corner and we just sit it and rest it in place here. You take your first section, and what you want to do is insert these portions here into the corresponding negative spaces on the end of any of the sides. It'll just slip in there. You need to give it a little bit of a push and then sit it nice and loosely at the corner. We'll then do the same thing with the next corresponding section. And what you want to do is get to a point where you've set up your corners on both sides, like so. So I'm going to take this bit and do exactly the same over on this side. There we go. And one more, like so. Now while I'm here, I'm going to take the corresponding end cap for this side and I'm going to place it on there like that. And the end cap that goes on here like that. These portions are now ready for me to be able to start to place clamps on. So I'll take a clamp open like so, and what I'm really looking to do is just make sure that the end of my clamp is used to secure both the green side section and the end cap. And I just simply loosely, I'm just going to loosely tighten this, because you need to have a little bit of room to be able to move things around a little bit as you adjust. So as you can see, I'm able to just adjust things and get it kind of really nice. Take another clamp, put it in place. Please note as well that my clamp is over the end, just like so. So it's actually clamping both the corner and the green section, like so. Kind of loosely tighten that. And again, clamp this section in place, like so, noting that the clamp is clamping both the corner and the green side section. I'm going to repeat that for the other side. Taking my clamp, you'll note that this time the clamp is in the other position, and with this table design you have the ability to tighten underneath the table or on top of the table, depending on how much space you might want to allow a particular game player or a user when they're playing. But in any case, it does the same thing. You'll see that it's securing both the end cap and the green side section, and I'm just simply loosely tightening these as they go on. So nice and loose to give me a bit of wriggle room. Finally, put this one in place. Make sure that's nice and tight there. Like so. So at this point you can see that we have the corner sections of the table nicely set up, ready to go. All the clamps are loosely tightened at this point. And now what we want to do is focus on how we assemble our mid-point connectors. So your mid connectors simply allow you to insert one into the existing side section. Take your next corresponding side section and simply slide it into place. Take a clamp, loosen, place on the side section and loosely tighten that up. Please bear in mind that we call this the rhino clamp because it looks like a rhinoceros front of a rhinoceros, obviously. But this is specifically designed to help support the back section of the sides here. We place these clamps in the mid connectors so that they secure this side section, and the mid connector at the same time. This is loosely tightened, and we repeat that for the next section, like so. Put that in place, align it along the length of the table, and again, place your clamp loosely in place, like so. And finally, at the end of this, we've got our end cap, which goes on like so, and a final clamp to secure this end section. Right, still nice and loose. So we're going to go up to assemble this portion here. Exactly the same approach. Slide it into place, grab a clamp, place it on, nice and loose. Mid connector into place, grab your side section, into place, clamp, nice and loose, so. Final end cap goes on like so. Last clamp. Nice and loose. And again, please note that I'm securing both the end cap and the side section at the same time. So at this point, what I would do is I would go around all my clamps and give it a tighten, just so it's hand tight really. So 4 or 5 hand turns, something like that, will give you the kind of the grip that you need, depending on how loose your clamp was to begin with. Just make sure these are all nice and tight. And as you'll see at that point, you have a great deal of rigidity on the sides of the table, like so. Last thing to do, you got a fixed fielder. It is a fixed fielder because it has this blue section inserted, which stops free movement across the top of the side. So that's a fixed fielder. A free fielder, a free fielder, a free fielder, which will slide easily across these joints, no problem at all. Final fixed fielder on this side, like so. The corresponding side, you have a fixed fielder, a free fielder, a free fielder, and a final fixed fielder. Bowler and ball sit at the top, and our bat placed at this end of the table. And at that point, you have fully assembled the latest next generation Lord's table cricket set.